Coach Stephanie here with your cool down of the week. We've got your 5 stretches prepared. This flow today, we're going to maybe need an ab mat. When we get to couch stretch, we can also like double up the mat and like flip it over if you don't want to grab an ab mat, but this might be helpful for your stretches today. So first thing we'll start with is cross leg forward fold. So let's get your legs into a cross leg position, but keep your feet kind of away from you. Sometimes we like to tuck our feet under, kind of open up this position so that like that front shin is kind of lined up with the front of the mat. Okay. Let's sit up tall and then go ahead and bow forward. Reach those hands out to a place where it's comfortable so we can relax the shoulders. And we're just allowing the torso to kind of fall. It might take a moment to let the low back release. Your hips might feel a little tight, so you might kind of soften into this position. But we'll stay here for a couple rounds of breathing and see if we can get that torso to just kind of lay more towards the shins. Good. All right, let's go ahead and sit the torso up. And then we're going to switch the cross of the legs. So other shin in front. And again, this might feel a little odd as, you know, we usually have a side that we like to cross that feels most comfortable. But again, line that front shin up with the front of the mat and then sit up really tall. And from here, we'll go ahead and bow forward and let everything in the torso just kind of soften. So let your jaw relax. The shoulders are dropping. If we can let the neck release a bit. We'll just stay here for a few rounds of breath. Good. All right, let's go ahead and sit up. And then we're coming into a reclined twist. So we'll lay all the way back. And start by just bringing your knees into the chest, give them a little squeeze. And then keep your right knee in, extend your left leg onto the mat. And then first scoot the hips over to the right a little bit. And that way, as you let the right knee fall, you feel a little bit more on the outer hip of the left leg. Okay. And gravity will do the work here, so just get heavy in this position. We don't need to push the knee down or push the right shoulder down. We just need to allow the twist to slowly unwind and just kind of breathing softly through this. Good. Bringing that knee now back through center. We'll kind of reset the hips and then give both knees a squeeze to your chest. And then other side. So now right leg extends, but first before we let the left knee fall, we got to scoot the hips over to the left. So now as you bring that left knee over to the opposite side, you feel a little bit more on the outer right hip. And then that left arm can kind of reach out and we're just finding that softness in the front of the shoulder, down through the spine so that we can allow this position to slowly open up without us pushing. Good. Now let's go ahead and reset. Bring that left knee through center. Reset the hips real quick, and then we'll give them a squeeze. And then next up, we have reverse tabletop. So let's go ahead and just kind of rock up to our seat. And we're gonna place the feet flat on the floor. And then hands are gonna go behind you. Fingers are gonna face forward. This is gonna really help open up the chest and the biceps. So from here, first thing we do is squeeze the shoulder blades together to kind of puff up the chest. And then we press through the palms to straighten the arms. Maybe you feel a stretch here, we can stay. Or if we want a little bit more, we can lift the hips up and kind of bring the weight forward towards the feet so that we can open up through the shoulders. We're gonna hold here. 3, 2, 1, and release. We're gonna do that one more time. It's an active position, so we just kind of, want to find that middle between a lot of effort and ease. Okay, and again, let's go hands behind. We go squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, straighten the arms, and now hips rise. And then they can kind of lean towards the heels to open up more, but keep pressing the palms through the floor. Get those straight elbows. And 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. All right, next up, we're coming into couch stretch. This is the one where we might need to double up the mat for some cushion, or we can grab an ab mat, but we're also gonna need a wall, okay? So ab mat on the floor close to the wall. I'm gonna start on my right side. So I'm gonna put my right knee onto the mat and my right foot onto the wall. And then my other leg is gonna come forward. So I'm kind of like in a little bit of a lunge here. Now, as we lift the torso, we're kind of pushing that whole body back towards the wall. And it may be that, I'm pretty tight today, so it might be like I can't get my back to the wall. We're just a little bit tight through the hip flexors here. So I'm just gonna breathe into this position. I'm gonna keep my chest up, and I'm just gonna find as much stretch as I can while also being able to breathe smoothly. Just hold in here. And if you need a little bit more, you can always lift the right arm up and kind of lean over towards the left side. It's going to bring that stretch up the hip flexors a little more. Good. All right, let's go ahead and release that. And then we'll come into the other side. So that right knee comes off the ab mat, and then left knee on the ab mat, left foot on the wall. And then I'm going to just take my right leg and bring it forward. Okay. And again, my torso is lifting, and then my whole chest is kind of reaching back so that I'm kind of not arching or not pushing my butt back. My whole torso is kind of reaching. And so this side's a little bit better, right? But, it depends on what we've done this week and, how tight your body is from being sore and all that stuff. And so don't always worry about getting the stretch to be the deepest possible. It's more just about feeling it and being able to breathe in that position, and then as you breathe and relax, you create more space. If you want a little more, that left arm can lift, then over to the right to bring that stretch up. And then we'll just breathe here for a few more cycles. Good. All right, let's go ahead and release. Ooh, cool. And then we've got one more. We're going to go back to the mat onto our backs for reclined glute stretch. So we lay flat. And we're going to begin with the right side. So let the left foot onto the floor. And then that right foot goes over and above the left knee. Start by pressing that right knee away from you so you create a little bit of space here first. And then bring that left knee towards you, okay? Feeling that right hip. We can, couple places for the hand, thread it through so you can grab the back of the thigh or that left shin. We can also grab the right knee and then the right foot and just gently pull with a little added pressure with that left knee driving towards your chest. So you have a little bit of tension both with the upper body and that left knee, creating some push toward your chest to feel that hip stretch. Okay. Breathing here. Good. All right, let's go ahead and release that. And then we'll go other side. So now right foot flat on the floor, left foot over and above the knee. We press the left knee away from the chest, and then that right knee comes in. And then you just kind of, you either thread the arms through, or if you want to grab your left foot and your left knee, and then a little bit of pressure pulling towards the chest with both the arms and that right leg can help create some deeper stretch in the hip. Good, and we'll go ahead and release that. You guys are all set for the day. Feel free to pause this video anytime just so that you're making sure that you're spending the time that you want to spend in these positions. And the more time you spend in these positions, your brain and your body starts to, open up and stretch out and feel really good. Thank you again for joining, and we'll see you next time.